where style and sophistication meets casual comfort. Pawns and bees.
I'm doing pretty good, Every day is always a busy day, but it's always nice just to kind of come back, have a conversation at Legion Square, um, kind of back near the old cabaret, and just enjoy the park here. Having a good day, though. Yeah. I mean, it's been just over 3 weeks and a day. Things have been very busy in the mayor's office. There's a lot of legislation we've been working on, a lot of policies. We've already got a few put in place. The big thing was setting everything up that first, week and a half. That first week was a little tumultuous with situations going on across the state, especially November 2nd. So, but besides that, we've really dug in deep yesterday on the 18th of November, and we are. I mean, there's so many meetings, just meeting after meeting, and it's all about communication and transparency. Yeah, so again, it's been 3 weeks, and so that first week was pretty tumultuous, but really the second and third week, once the staff was set up, we started implementing. Big thing was transparency during the campaign, publishing the tax rates for every single business category, and also state-ran business in our state, and also being transparent about what the tax rates were before and what date they were changed. And so that way people can have public access to be up to date, to know exactly what their business and their friends' businesses, or just any business across the state, is being charged to help the state keep going. We've also lowered taxes. Most categories have been lowered by 5% at least across the board. At the same time, we've also put in place a procedure for business transfers. There was no really strong policy in place, but now it's clearly outlined. We've opened up the mayor's office for meetings. We've been having meetings with all sorts of different people from across the state, from like Polito to the sanitation department, all the way to the south side. The office is open to every and anyone. Obviously, you need to schedule a meeting if you want to have it with me. But we have a great team that is really good at setting things in the calendar. Yeah, so obviously, like I said, that first week was pretty tumultuous with security threats across the state. That was a big obstacle, just getting the office set up. Sometimes getting into the office and learning the real ropes of what it means to be the mayor and what you can, what we can do and what we really can't do. That's been a little bit of a hurdle, but it's been, I'd say, like a learning hurdle. You have to go over hurdles multiple times before you learn how to get over them, efficiently and faster. There's been some hangups with construction, but I think that's a thing that will always be the case for the mayor's office. I'd say the big thing is people have come to us asking for some pretty major changes that feedback on that takes time. A kind of time constraint will always be a hurdle for the mayor's office. So what we just ask is, we're doing the best that we can. We will communicate back with people, but we understand frustration where people have been waiting a long time to hear back on some things, and we promise that we will let you know as soon as we can, as soon as we hear back from construction, as soon as we hear back from any other bureaucracy that is involved in the process, whether that's business or just general state needs. There's a lot more to it than just the mayor making a decision. What I will say is the general kind of response has been positive so far. Just going around, people really like the transparency, and I think it's something that people have been wanting for a long time. People really enjoy the record of communications. We have a new document section in the mayor's office that will basically record any state announcements made by the mayor's office, and then also any executive orders issued. That way, there will always be that record for people to go back to, because sometimes the state announcements, they get removed with time. And so people will always be able to go back and say, what did the mayor issue on this date, and what was it about? People have really liked the transparency with all that. There have been some frustrations, right, about getting different types of businesses approved. I always tell people that I am going to be realistic with them. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. We need the logistics in place sometimes before we can really get certain industries going. But again, there's more pieces to the puzzle than just the mayor, signing something or directing it to happen, right? I think no matter what, you're always going to have people that are frustrated with you, with any leader really. And it's just a matter of finding a path forward for everybody. What happened on that day and the days preceding it was horrible, was an attack on our state. It is something that no citizen should ever have to go through, that no one should ever have to go through, and that those that have perpetrated this will be held accountable. Now, the fact of the matter is that there is still an ongoing investigation into this, and that's part of the reason why there hasn't been any full press conference yet. When information, incredible information, backed up by investigation, comes to light and is able to be released to the public, it will be. Because the people deserve to know what happened, but the people also deserve to have that evidence presented before them when it's ready. If we present things right now, the investigation might falter, and it's not what we want to have happen. We want to hold those that did this accountable and ensure that justice is served. So when the time comes for that information to be released, it will be released to everybody at the same time at a press conference. When that press conference will be is to be determined. That's depending upon the investigation, and is out of my hands at this time. I trust law enforcement to do a good job and to be thorough and diligent with their work. So I've been talking with the law enforcement about this, different agencies, and it's the kind of thing we want to make sure that is fully clear and concise before we release anything to the public. But when we can do it, we will. Trust me. The real impact it's had was, one, just getting us set up in the office. It was a very tumultuous time. I basically had like a couple days crash course, and then there was a state security threat. It was just across the board horrible stuff. At the same time, it kind of hampered some community meetings, right, that I was going to have with different people. I will say, right, the silver lining here was that it really thrust us into a good open communication with the police department, right, with the different agencies. That's kind of that silver lining there, is that we really, within that first week, had strong communication with different law enforcement. And this kind of set the tone going forward, is that those communication channels are now there and can be quickly accessed to combat anything moving forward. This isn't really public information, but I'll release it publicly. When the events were going on that Saturday in question, I took it upon myself to request the emergency response protocol be activated. The prompt communication with that really, I think, helped curtail further damage on our state.